Welcome back to Care for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 1004, we're going to talk about Betor, Kin to All. Now, I do apologize here. Lately, I have not been recording as much as I should have, but I am to a critical mass point where I have no more room for decks. I have 112 decks here that are built that y'all haven't seen, so it's time to get filming. And in Betor here, we have A.S.M R, which is white, black, and green. We have a 5/7 flying spirit dragon. Sounds pretty cool for 5 mana, right? At the beginning of your end step, if creatures you control have total toughness 10 or more, draw a card. Then, if creatures you control have total toughness 20 or more, untap all your creatures. Then, if you have creatures have total toughness 40 or more, each opponent loses half their life rounded up. Now, the rounded up portion here is very important because that turns it into a win condition. If it was rounded down, they could never go below 1, but losing half. I've built this, I've played it several times, and I have noticed the entire table is fine with it until you hit that 40. They lose half their life one time, and you become a target. So, let's get into it. As usual, we will do our mana fixing. I'm going to call it mana fixing and not ramp because this deck, while it does have green in it, it doesn't really need a whole lot of ramp. We have a Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Commander Sphere. I also have an Ornithopter of Paradise just because it fits the theme. It is an Arcane Signet with 2 toughness, essentially. Yeah, it's sick, but most of the time, the 2 toughness is worth it. Now, for card draw, thank goodness we have black in this, because every bit of card draw that I have here, black. Feed the Infection, Ambition's Cost, Read the Bones, Infectious Inquiry, Phyrexian Arena, and the big one, Damnable Pact. Now, yeah, it's just straight card draw. That's what it is. So let's get into our defender, shall we? Because the deck lends itself to defenders. And that's kind of where I went with it, because defenders are typically very inexpensive on the mana cost. Wall of Roots, we spend 2 mana, we get 5 toughness. And, hey, we got mana if we need it. Sylvan Carriage is a mana dork, 2 mana, 3 toughness. Then we just got the big ones, the Wall of Ice, 3 mana, 7 toughness. Wall of Omens replaces itself. Wall of Woods, 1 mana, 3 toughness. Walking Bulwark. Yeah, sure, why not? Fortified Rampart, Suspicious Bookcase. Axebane Guardian is one that I absolutely love because it's a huge mana dork. Any combination of colors where X is the number of creatures you control with Defender, which is really close to the other one that I apparently didn't put in here. Anyway, Crystal Barricade's a good wall, been printed recently. Wall of Resistance. It can get bigger, but, Wall of Swords. Not only do our walls, they do double duty here in the fact that, yes, they keep creatures from attacking us, but they are counting toward our 10, 20, 40 toughness. And the flying walls, very important to keep, because we are in, the dragon world. Wall of Reverence. We'll come back to Wall of Reverence. It is a 1/6, but gaining that life is pretty good. Jaddy Offshoot. Wall of Limbs. Oh, here it is. Overgrown Battlement. That was the other one. Crashing Drawbridge. Wall of Blossoms, another cantrip. Carving Carriage's a cantrip. Our pair of trees. Tree of Redemption, Tree of Perdition, both of them fit in there nicely. And then the Blight Pile. The Blight Pile is actually one of the best cards in the deck, especially with the untapping at the end of your turn. You can do this on your turn. and then do it again. So twice a turn cycle is kind of a beautiful thing. It wins games. It does. Now, the life gain wall. Now we're going to go into creatures that aren't defender, but are kind of toughness matters, you know. The life gain wall, I have the Rock's Faithbender. You know, it does have a 5 toughness. Does double the life gain. So, like, the Nyx Fleece Ram. I think that may be it for the life gain, to be honest with you. I mean, have Dragon Lord Dramoka. 7 toughness, yeah, lifelink. Having a big dragon as a blocker in big dragons. This deck here, the way I have never participated in the combat step so far. The idea is just to sit here and, hey guys, I'm not attacking this game. I don't have Doran. I don't have, I mean, I do have the assault formation if push comes to shove, but the fact of the matter is I've never drawn it. Indomitable Ancients. I was able to do the cool Arboreal Grazer thing once, you know, turn 1 forest, Arboreal Grazer, second land, which feels real good when you go first. Sylvala, kind of a mana dork, and a kind of a card draw, and kind of a toughness, you know. Arbor Adherent. Another mana dork that's pretty good. Palisade Giant. Now, I like some Palisade Giant. All damage that would be dealt to you or another permanent you control is dealt to Palisade Giant. So, and it has a 7 toughness. So this Joker can withstand a whole lot of stuff. Phyrexian Walker, just because, you know, I know I should have Shield Sphere in here as well. Maybe in place of the Walker, in place of other stuff, but I didn't have one at my disposal when I built the deck. And then this new Canopy Gargantuan here, Flying War 2/7 for 7. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a number of 1/1 counters on each other creature you control equal to that creature's toughness. So the Indomitable Ancients is going to get 10 counters on it. The commander's going to get 7. You see what I'm saying? It gets you, the 40 happens way quicker than you realize. Especially in, you know, I'm a fan of Anthems, you know that. And this for 2 mana, it's like, what? I know there's probably better spots, but this has tipped me over the 40 edge a couple of times now. Now, it has not performed like Castle does. Castle is just, was made for this deck. Actually, I think maybe the deck was made for Castle, because Castle was way back there. I have some other stuff, you know, the Swiftfoot boots for the commander. I have gotten the Callfurner's Urn to work. I was in the early game when everybody's populating the board. We're all fairly certain, you know, turn 4, turn 5. We all have that imminent feeling a board wipe is a common. So I was able to turn 3 the Urn, and when the board wipe came, I was able to get 3 of my guys back. I have actually drawn this, finally. I keep running Death Ritual out in decks, and at the beginning of each end step, if a creature died, you may draw a card. One game, this proved valuable. I think I drew about 4 cards off of it, which is not bad. Good old-fashioned Fog. Now, I thought hard about this being like the Fog deck, because we're playing the 3 Fog colors. We could have run Darkness, Holy Day, Fog, but to be honest with you, if you want to do that, you can just run, you know, green has 30 versions of Fog, so, I got 1. Maybe I do more. I don't know. Exsanguinate, because, you know, there are times where you just got to close the game. Oh, and life gain doubled with the dude, you know. I'm gonna time for the bronze spotlight cards. These are cards that are 3 slots that probably should not be in the deck, but I could not resist. Way back in Legends, there was a cycle of glyphs, and they were all 1 mana instants, 1 per color, and they all did different things involving walls. Now the white one here, Glyph of Life, damage done to target wall by attacking creatures is added to your life total. Pretty sweet. The black one is Glyph of Doom. All creatures blocked by target wall are destroyed at the end of combat. So far, I've only drawn 1 of these, and I was in a position to where it kind of didn't matter. The game was already over at that point. And the green one is Glyph of Reincarnation. You play after combat is over. All surviving creatures blocked by target wall are destroyed. Each creature destroyed this way, choose 1 creature from attacker's graveyard and return it to play under attacker's control. That's kind of wild. But, I don't know, I always look for those old cards that are somehow relevant. Are these relevant? I don't know. Are they fun? Absolutely they are. So let's look at our removal. I've got the Disenchant, Sword to Plowshares. A.S.M.R has the best removal in the world with white-black and green-black. I don't think I went overkill on it. D-Spark. It's hard for me not to go overkill on removal because, man, Anguished Unmaking. And one of my personal favorites, Ashes to Ashes. It exiles 2 non-artifact creatures. Yeah, you take 5. There's a good chance those 2 creatures are going to do more than 5 to you anyway. But the exile portion is what I love. And then I have a few wipes in Slaughter the Strong. Taking out all the big things. Fell the Mighty. Because you can control whether or not you want your guys to die by which one you pick. Expel the Interlopers. And then, good old-fashioned Hurricane. Hurricane does not get enough respect, and I tell you, what was it, last year with Nuka Pennant, we had a resurgence in Angel decks with Giada, and now she's in Foundations, same thing again, and now, what do we have, Eldraine with Fairies, now we have Tarkir with Dragons. Flyers are good, we all love them. Hurricane. And yeah, I chose the super faded revised Hurricane. And that takes us to our non-basic lands. Nothing really special here, just kind of color-fixing lands. We have an overgrown farmland, isolated chapel, Temple of Plenty, Evolving Wilds, Temple of Silence, Radiant Grove, Canopy Vista, Bojuka Bog. I'm telling you, folks, if black is in your deck, play Bojuka Bog. It takes the place of a swamp, and there are so many decks that interact with the graveyard. It doesn't have to be Reanimator, it doesn't have to be zombies, sorry Chris, but it does. It is very, very important. Command Tower, Woodland Cemetery, Exotic Orchard, Fortified Village, Sun Petal Grove, Temple of Malady, and the Sand Steps Citadel. Of course, I got our Friendly Neighborhood basics there. But that is what I have got for Betor. It's a ton of fun to play. Maybe Peacekeeper, making creatures not attack. Maybe the big flying Archon that says things can attack you. Maybe one of those will take the place of my assault formation because I really like not participating in the combat step. Streamlines the turn. Sometimes turns can get real long in Commander, and not mine, But thank y'all so much for watching and understanding. And as always, it is time to shuffle and cut.